Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
This Thanksgiving, think outside the oven and get Thanks Grilling with Ace. Get a new grill and choose from top brands like Traeger, Weber, and Big Green Egg to add even more flavor to your Thanksgiving turkey, side dishes, and desserts. Plus, right now, get free assembly and delivery on all grills and accessories $3.99 and up. For the best help on the best grills, stop by your local Ace and get Thanks Grilling. Ace Rewards members only through December 24th. See participating stores for scheduling or exclusions.
Episode 1889 of No BS Job Search Advice Radio. I'm your host, Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter, and welcome. I've been called the Big Game Hunter for a long time, and it started off my time in executive search when I used to hunt down leaders and staff for organizations. And I did it for a heck of a long time, like 40 years, and now I coach people. The term still plays very well, the Big Game Hunter, because I want to help you play big professionally and personally. So that can be involved with your job search, as I talk about on this show. It can also be involved with your leadership and being effective in the workplace as well. And today, for those of you who get to the point where we've got a later stage interview or a final interview, these are a few pitfalls that you might run into where you can come back and hurt yourself. Hope you find it helpful and give it a great review wherever you listen to the show. And next week is episode 1900. And let's get going, okay? So I've got 8 of them here. 8. And the first one is treating it like it's a formality, even if they say that it is. There is no such thing as a formality on any interview whatsoever. I have had situations where people have been told, you've got this one locked up. You know, there's no issues whatsoever. We think you're the perfect individual. And then they're not hired. They're not hired because they didn't perform. And what winds up happening is an employer always has the choice of you or going back to find someone else. And if they're not sure, you are competing with the notion that there might be someone else out there. So never, ever treat it as a formality. Number 2 is, excessively long answers or yes/no answers. Every question you're asked is an opportunity to speak about your experience and confirm their previous good decision about you. Often I tell people to tell stories as they answer questions. And in telling stories, to follow a format called SOAR, S-O-A-R. What's the situation that you stepped into? What's the objective that you had? What action did you take or lead? What was the result? Measured in terms of money saved, money earned, percentage improvement, something along those lines that demonstrates the impact of your work. Now, if you're at a staff level, you might use the STAR acronym, situation or task that you've been charged with, the action that you took, and the result is measured in terms of money saved or money earned. So always take the time to tell stories, but to keep your answer to a minute or a minute 15 tops, and try and come up with some new stories for this interview. Number 3 is not making any critical remarks about your present or any previous employer. Often you can tell the story about what your issues were without any sort of charged speech or criticism that's going to make them pause for a second and go, that's going to be me one of these days. So you don't want to fall into that trap. The next thing I wanted to say is, even if they offer you something, it's okay to take coffee or tea or bottled water if offered to you. But if they offer you a snack, skip that. I'll simply say, crumbs on you, on your clothing, on your lips, things along those lines, or being caught in the chewing process when they come out to pick you up and bring you in for the interview, it's not a good look for you. And worse than that, it breaks your equilibrium. So, avoid the food, except the beverage. Now, sometimes firms try different interview tactics. And I've done videos before about the long pause, as though they're waiting for even more. And rather than over talking, I'm just going to remind you here that if they try the long pause, and you know what a long pause feels like, right? You can very simply say, is there something else that you want to know about this? And do it in a calm, not anxious way, so that you don't lose your posture here. You're able to demonstrate confidence. Now, this is a fun one, and I'll simply say no arguing. Arguing can be over professional matters. Arguing can be over politics or policy or opinions about something professional. Now, we live in very polarized times politically, and certainly in some professional circles, these are polarizing times too. Getting into arguments and being vociferous in your opinion doesn't work. All that happens is you wind up being opposed to one another without a bridge of connection. And since what you're trying to do is to connect with folks for a job that you've been interviewing for probably weeks on end, and you're close to the finish line, why would you put yourself in the position of getting into an argument? I'll simply say the best way to respond to, and I'm going to skip the politics one, I'll just deal with professional arguing or disagreements, is to simply say, could you show me what you mean by that? Because I may be missing something here, maybe some detail in your argument. I just want to get your viewpoint and make sure that I'm clear. So again, no arguing. And you're inviting them to explain to you, which is a far more conciliatory and mature approach to take. As someone in a leadership role, as someone who's competing for a role with an organization, you always want to demonstrate a balance about your matter. Lastly, there may be times in the interview that you just sense you're losing the audience. And in losing the audience, they're pulling away from you as though you're not under consideration any longer. I'll just simply say, if you sense that, there's a point in the interview, not long after you pick up on this, where if you still feel this way, you might just simply say, I'm getting the idea that you're distracted by something. Why do you think that? Well, I noticed about 3-4 minutes ago, you started to appear distracted, as though maybe you had a meeting you were preparing for, or something had come up, or your mind had been distracted by something. And I just want to check, is this still a good time to continue our conversation, or is there something else you need to attend to? Particularly for those of you in leadership, this is a great tactic to take, because there's a maturity to asking the question, and it kind of snaps them back into paying attention. So I'm Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter. I hope you found this helpful. If you did and you're watching on YouTube, click the like button down below. Also, if you'd like to subscribe to my channel on YouTube, you see a little icon there, a little icon with my logo on it. Click that. You'll be able to subscribe to my channel. Also want to mention that if you're interested in my coaching you can reach out to connect with me on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/IN/the Big Game Hunter. And once we're connected, you can message me and we can set up an initial discovery call. If you only have a couple of questions, you might try reaching out to me through an app called Magnify, MAGNIFI. That's an iOS-only app where we can have a video conversation, or you can call me through PrestoExperts.com. I'm Jeff Altman. I hope you have a great day, and I'd love to coach you. Take care. That's today's show. I hope you found it helpful. And if you did, here are a few more ways to get information and advice from me. First of all, visit my website, which is thebiggamehunter.us. Go to the blog. There's a lot there to help you with your job search, hiring more effectively, managing and leading in workplace-related issues. In addition, if you're interested in my coaching you, there's a button there that says schedule. Schedule time for a free discovery call or schedule yourself in for coaching. Obviously, I'm going to charge for that, but I can help you with interview preparation, leadership coaching, salary negotiation advice, making a good decision between different offers, anything related to improving yourself in the workplace, I can coach you about. If you have questions for me, you can schedule 15 minutes with me at thebiggamehunter.us/live, or a less expensive way is at thebiggamehunter.us/video answers, where you leave a message for me and I'll respond with a 3 to 5 minute video. Connect with me on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/in/thebiggamehunter. I can assure you your network will expand a lot by connecting with me. And finally, watch me on TV. Download the JobSearch TV app for Fire TV, Fire Stick, Apple TV, Roku, like 90 different manufacturers. I'll be back tomorrow with more, and in the meantime, I hope you have a terrific day. Be great!
Does anybody want breakfast? Guys, let's go. I'm leaving for McDonald's in 5 seconds. Why didn't you start with that?
The Breakfast Stampede Meal. It's only at McDonald's, where there's a meal for every morning.
And nothing says morning like a classic sausage McMuffin with egg. Right now, get this all-time favorite for just $2 on the $1, $2, $3 menu. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Haverty's Furniture is here to help you get set for the season with up to $1,000 off. So you can set the stage with style and set the bar more beautifully. So why not settle in together on a new sofa? Because being at home doesn't mean having to settle for less. Even though the holidays feel a little different this year, Haverty's Furniture can help you create the perfect holiday setting with up to $1,000 off plus 0% interest.